Hello, let's practice quadratic equation today. And so suppose you have a question that says find x in, and it's given us 2x squared plus 5x plus, let's give it 2 is equal to 0. So suppose that's a question, and notice that there is an x squared here, and so because of this x squared there, this is no longer a linear equation, this is now a quadratic. So if you have to see the curve, it will look something like a U, like a pear shape, okay, compared to suppose it was just this portion of the equation, then the plot would look like that, just a line, a linear line, okay. And so to solve this, there are two ways. You could use the quadratic formula, or you could use the way that I will teach you today, which is like the most intuitive or the most fun part of it, or the most fun way of solving this basically. And so to solve it, we have this middle term, and we have this constant and this coefficient of x squared. If you are to use the almighty formula, which is the quadratic formula, you just have to understand that any quadratic equation could be arranged such that you have a x squared plus b x plus c to be equal to 0. So these are all coefficients. So the coefficient of x squared of x squared is a, which is corresponding to 2 in this case, and in this case bx will be that 5, the b will be 5, corresponding to that 5, and then you could just slot all this into your almighty formula, and voila, you have your x by the time you solve it. But what I'll be showing you today is how to solve it without the quadratic formula, so that you are more creative, okay. Alright, so to do that, first we have 2, so we have this in front of x squared, and we have 5 here, and we have this, and so we want to multiply what is in front of the 2 or in front of the x squared to the constant, okay. And then once we have the result, we want whatever we had as the result to extract two factors in it to get to what is in the middle here, which is the coefficient of the x. And so I know that is getting way more complicated, but this is just what I'm saying. And so first is we have 2x squared. If we times it by the constant, the 2 there, we'll have it as 4x squared, okay. So this is the product, think of this as the product, and in the middle here we have just this 5x, and so that will be the sum. And so let's do, in the middle we have just 5x, and that's the sum, okay. So we need two factors that if they multiply, they will give us this, that's the product, and if they sum, they will give us the 5x. So we're trying to do defactorization, that's the technical term, okay. And so the two terms in this case is, you could just draw a table and see all the multiples and factors of certain numbers. So in this case we are interested in 4 and 5. If we pick 1 times 4, that will give us 4. If we do 2 times 2, that will give us 4. If we do 1 plus 4, that will give us 5. And there is no other one. If we do this one, we'll get a 4. If we do 2 plus 2, we'll get a 4, which is not what we want, okay. And so we found what we wanted, so it's these two, yeah. basically. And so these are the two that we're interested in. And so let's extract them. We have found them is 1 and 4. And so we could rewrite our main equation, which is x squared plus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0 as in terms of these factors that we found. And so if we defactorize that, we could write this as 2x squared plus 4x plus x plus 2 is equal to 0. So basically what we did is we just splitted this 5x into these two terms, into this 4x and the x, such that if you add this back, you go back to this equation basically. So we have not changed the equation, but we have successfully splitted it into two, such that we could have x in, if we were to pick two terms, we'll have x in both sides. So if we were to pick two terms, we could be able to solve for x. Alright, so with this, the next thing that we want to do now is to factorize now. So we defactorize, now we're factorizing again. And so we'll ask ourselves, between these two that are underlined, between what is the common term between the two? What is common between this number and this number is 2x. It's 2x. And so if you want to you have to factorize this will be a 2 into, so now we want to remove 2 away from this 2x squared, and so what we're left with is just an x squared. In fact, what is common is 2x, okay. What is common is 2x, because there's 2x common between the two. So there's a 2x, and if I remove 2x from 2x squared, I'm just left with an x. If I remove 2x from 4x, I am left with what? 2. Okay? Plus, what is common between these two? It's 1. So 1 into x plus 2 is equals to 0. Okay? Now, if you notice, you see what it's in the parentheses are the same, and what is outside here in this case are different. And so we want to collect what is outside and pick just one of what is in the parentheses. And so we'll have this as 2x plus the 1. These are the terms that are outside the parentheses, and x plus 2, which is what is inside the parentheses, is equal to 0. So basically what we did here, if we are to expand this, we'll go back to the question that we had. We'll go back to the question that we had there. You could try that if you're doubting. So we've not changed anything in the equation basically. And so let's try expanding that. So if you want to expand that, this is how you do it. You have 2x plus 1, and you have x plus 2. How do you expand this? Pick one and multiply on the other one. So if I pick the first and the second to open the bracket of the second, this will be a 2x times everything in the second bracket, which is x plus 2, plus this second term plus 1. And if I times what is in the second bracket, I get that basically. If I say 2 times x, I get what? 2x squared. If I say 2x times 2, I get a 4x. If I say 1 times x, I get x. If I say 1 times 2, I get 2. Now if I simplify this further, I have 2x squared. 4x plus 1 is 5x. Plus 2 is equal to 0. So basically we went back to the question. Right? We've not done anything funky here. And so the next is to equate each of what is in the parentheses to the 0, which is what's on the right hand side. And so this will become our 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, and then we'll solve for x. 2x is equal to minus 1, and our x is equal to minus 1 over 2. Or the second solution will be what is in the second parenthesis, which is x plus 2 is equal to 0, and our x is equal to what? Minus 2. You got it right. And so these are the two solutions of x. X is equal to 2 minus 2, or negative half. So that's how you solve quadratic equation. Please subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one.